joining me tonight on this special edition of the social media, the Cosplay Diva, whatever the hell I'm naming this right now. So let me know you're here. Let me know you're here, and I'm going to put up some of your comments, and I'm going to bring in some of my guests, which are the lovely Krysta Crawford, who I really, really dig. So definitely come on over. Remember, I'm still new to this and still learning how to use all this. So please bear with me here. Who all do we have? Got 7 viewers. Got 10. Share this out. Let's share this out real quick. Where can we see it? We can see it on the YouTubes and the Instagrams and the... No, not Instagram. YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. So definitely take a look. You can hear my dog tapping underneath the table. Share this out and let everybody see it. That's my story. I should share it to my, and of course I have to go and, blah, 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 blah. Share now. Just do it. Okay. So are you ready for her? Where are my comments? Who do we have? Jinx, hello. From YouTube. Clinton, how you doing? I just packaged your package today. Maris, hello. Maximiliano, I like that name. That's awesome. Good evening, Mr. Holmes. How are you doing? And hola, ¿cómo estás? To you, Rogelio. John, hello, hello. And Andy and Brent, I messaged you. We gotta talk. We have things we need to talk about. Enrico, hello, hello. So are you ready? Are you ready for my girl? All right. So everybody say hello to Miss Krysta Crawford.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me on, Cara.
Hey, this is fun. Remember we used to do this where we would go live together and stuff.
Pre-COVID, we would do taste of streams. Remember that one time you came over and we tasted like 10 different brands of rum and we all dressed up as pirates?
That was awesome. But rum was weird because
rum was weird.
Well, usually everything has a flavor, but rum was always different. And there was a girl here that was there too, and she was from, where was she, like from Brazil or something? And she asked, said, well, what is rum supposed to taste like? And we're all kind of like, I don't think we know anymore.
I don't really know. Like, I thought I knew what rum tasted like. I was like, yes, rum, is this. And then we tried so many different rums. I was like, I don't even know anymore. And, and I'm a big, like, whiskey, I was like, this is whiskey, this is scotch, this is gin, this is vodka. But rum was so varied.
Right? It was like, this is breakfast, this is lunch, fire.
Well, I think we had a lot of varied too. We had like cheap rum, expensive rum. We had dark spiced rum, which I feel like was more of my favorite, was more of the spiced rums. And then we had like the lighter end rums too. But I don't think there were any that we really like didn't like though.
No, but they all had a purpose. It was just interesting that they all tasted so differently. I really liked the one that tasted buttery that I was like,
yes,
this is so good on like pancakes.
That was really good. I remember that one. It had a very like nutty, buttery flavor, and I was not expecting that from the rum.
That was a breakfast rum.
So
that
was like with the side of your coffee while you had waffles and bacon or veggie bacon.
Yes. Oh, and just so you know, Andy's Mints has coffee.
That's like heart to my, down to the core of my heart. I grew up on Andy's Mints.
Shannon brought me some K-cups. So I just opened them all up and my coffee. I don't have a Keurig.
Yeah.
It was really, really awesome. I was like, this is my heart. And I had just started on the mushroom coffee. So
yes, you were telling me about that, the mushroom coffee. And so that has no coffee beans in it at all, or has some coffee beans?
It's a half and half. It's a half and half. A little
okay.
A little it's both.
So it's kind of like a coffee, but with the benefits of the mushrooms in it.
Yes, but it's also a half calf.
So, a little short for the Stormtrooper. That may not be true. Stormtroopers are from a universe far, far away. We don't know how tall they actually are in reality.
You make a good point. would you rather fight 500 stormtroopers that size or one stormtrooper 500 times the size of that?
I mean, they can't really aim or like hit accurately, so it doesn't really matter.
Are they more likely to hit you if they're 500 times the size of that guy? Because then they can still shoot you out anyway.
That's probably because the explosion coming off a guy that's 500 times that size is going to hit a larger radius than ones that are smaller and shooting at, with smaller projectiles.
Well, I think the real question is, how big are you?
This is true. This
Because
is true.
he's not going to hit you. But if you're like this big,
like Ant-Man. Mm-hmm. That's true. See, and we don't know. We've never been to a galaxy far, far away. Oh, yes, that is true. That is true. The new stormtroopers can aim. I will go with that.
Oh.
How historically, though?
Hey, Mark. No, now we've got a whole other thing to think about.
Yeah, I was like, now we're going down a Star
right, big time.
I was like, now we're changing genres.
Yes. I totally get it. So it's been a while since we've talked. You're working now as a doctor.
I am officially Dr. Crawford with the big doctor job, or Dr. Divinity, as everybody likes to call me.
Do you do that at work?
Not at work, just to uncross professionalism, but definitely like in streaming. That is usually, going on, and everybody's like, Dr. Divinity.
Right. I was thinking about you the other day because we were talking about going to the new the new Chanel movie? No, Gucci. House of Gucci.
Gucci. Yes. I think we're seeing it on Saturday.
Wait, I thought it wasn't coming out yet.
Yes, it comes out Wednesday or Friday. It's soon. It's like just came out or something.
Well, let me know because I'll totally go with you.
Mm-hmm. So I'll have to figure out what time we're going, but yes, we will Gucci it up. House of Gucci.
Damn right. Well, did you see that there was a thing for a new Cyrano movie?
Oh, no, I didn't see that. What was that one about?
It's the Cyrano de Bergerac.
Ooh, no, I must have not seen that trailer yet.
So, I didn't see the trailer. I just saw the picture. So in the old Cyrano de Bergerac story, you've got a guy, and I don't know in the original what it was, but like there's something wrong with him. He's like disfigured, and so he wants the girl. He can't get the girl because he's embarrassed about the way he looks. Then there's another guy that he's like, that wants the girl, and he like tells him all the stuff to say to get the girl. But this time, Cyrano is Peter Dinklage, and I'm like, this does not work. This does not work at all because Peter Dinklage is so freaking hot that it does not matter that he is a dwarf. Like it just doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I do not believe you that you got to go have someone get a girl for you, or because like you can't get a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I bet that's going to be pretty good. I will say that sounds intriguing. I'm definitely down for that. I just recently came back from watching Ghostbusters. We saw that on Friday, and I cannot say enough good things about that movie. Just everything from the beginning to the end, the punchlines, the throwbacks, like everything about it was just like touched my little geek heart.
Yes. Was there a part for you when you went?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I know.
I just can't. I mean, off screen, we will definitely, I don't want to spoil it since it just came out, but you know exactly what part I'm talking about where it happened. And I was like, oh my God.
I did too. Alfred's like looking at me like, So Jimmy and Mark both say Cyrano was always his nose. And that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure because the new one, maybe he has a big nose and he's a dwarf, but he didn't look like he had a big nose in the
picture. In the poster.
So,
the movie poster.
Was it better than the reboot they made with the all-girl squad? I didn't see the girl one. I did not see the girl one, but the way I hear it is that it's good if you look at it as the comics versus the movie. That the girls are actually the comics. So we, for those of you who don't know, Krysta, not only is she a doctor, but she also is a comic book creator. And not just a writer, but an artist as well. And we've been talking about this project that you've been working on for quite a while, like years now.
Yeah, years now. Officially launched and was published with issue number 1 2 years ago. almost now, because it was January of 2020, but the story's been in progress for, gosh, over 10 years now. So,
And
I mean,
well, and weren't you saying, like when we were talking, that you come up with a lot of your ideas when you're telling stories to kids in the hospital?
yeah. So, I mean, as you know, I have worked for many years as a pediatric ICU nurse, and then most recently graduated with my doctorate. So now I'm a pediatric nurse practitioner. But I spent many years in the hospital with kids all night long, multiple days a week, as they went through the best and the worst times of their life. But the hardest part is spending those hours by yourself. Sometimes parents are there, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're there, but parents are just exhausted from staying up day after day. And so we were their best friends. We'd sit by them, we'd tell them, what was going on and help them get through the night. And so a lot of the ways that I was able to help kids do that is by creating stories for them. And so I'd spend many nights like coming up with different stories and, kind of helping them with tales of heroines and heroes who, defeated monsters and went through battles and made friends and had to overcome these hurdles and these different things, but how they were successful and how they banded together and they believed in things. And that's how they made it through their nights, and they made it through some of these really difficult procedures. And so like that was really something special to me, to be able to help ease their pain and find an escapism, even for the night, from the unknown of what was going on with their body and their health.
Wow, that's
Mhm.
crazy. So I can understand like having this idea, right, that you want to, put out there, but the fact that you turned this one into into an actual book, like that had to have been
Mhm.
a lot more personal than just telling the stories.
It really was. And a lot of the stories I wrote were, or I mean, made up and told kids were very like in the moment situational. But the story of Wolf and I just really came from my deep love of fantasy and fiction. And just as a person, we all have bad days. We all have good days. We go through hard things and we find different ways on how to cope with the different things that we experience in life. And so for me, it was reading. I grew up reading the classics. I grew up reading fantasy. I grew up reading, Dickens and Jane Austen. And that was my way of coping. And so in my head over these years, this character just really came to life for me. These two main characters, Sophie and Violet, who are the focus in this comic. And they just slowly developed and they became more round and they became more personalities. And I just saw them in my head and I saw like their interactions together. And I was like, how would they face this in life? And what would happen if their life got turned completely upside down? They're living this normal life. They're told one thing from the beginning, and then all of a sudden, strange things start happening. They start manifesting powers. They start getting like chased by bad guys and have creatures coming out and like find out they're not who they really thought they were and have to get transported into a whole different world. And so it just slowly bloomed and blossomed and grew. And my original plan throughout the years, I would write down chapters, I would sketch out storylines of like, okay, then this happened, and then they ran into this person, and so all of these things came together. But I just, as a perfectionist, as an artist, we're our worst critic. We really are. And I'm like, sure you can agree with that, with cosplay, with art, with everything. You look at something and you're like, I could have done that better. No, that maybe this would have been better. What if I did this instead? And so this book, which, gosh, I have probably multiple chapters. It was probably 3/4 of an actual book written at this point. And I was like, I'm just never going to publish this because I just keep changing things. And working with you and working with these other comic creators, watching you guys come out with your amazing pieces, I'm like, you know what? This is going to force me to actually put it out there and stop changing things and just accept who I am and accept the story and put it out one chapter at a time, one book at a time as a comic. And so that was kind of my transition from character to book to comic book.
Well, I think that you have a lot of options with your particular story
Mhm.
because you are a reader. So I think that, you know what readers want. You know what a reader likes. And okay, for those of you that don't know, Krysta is one of those people that reads like a million books all the time.
I think I've read 71 already this year.
Right. Like always reading. And so I think that you have the option, like with this particular story, you can put out your comic book series and then put it into a novel, whereas most people go the other way. For you, I think it could be really good to put it into comics and then throw it into a novel.
Yes. And I think that's something we talked about one time over coffee. And I think that would be such a great potential for me too, to really be like, okay, good. I've got the story, I've got the character, it's all together. And now I can put it in a different format because I understand not everybody likes comics. Not everybody likes books. There's some people that are more of, like one format over the other, depending on their style. And being able to create the world of Crayweth in multiple formats would be such a exciting thing for me. And yes, to answer your question, Cal, I am the main artist and the author. I do all the things on the book except for flats, which the amazing flatter Dutchin does the flats for them.
So one time I posted online that I needed a flatter and people started complimenting me and I'm like,
oh, that's epic.
I don't need a compliment. I need someone to put down color separation on my art.
Right? I just need it blocked out. I need a blocker.
Right? And the blocker. Watch, someone's gonna come out with the boxing gloves and stuff, big old hockey stick. Which
that'd be funny.
She plays friggin' hockey too.
Not professionally by any means.
Like the ittiest bittiest thing. Like she's so tiny and cute, and she plays hockey, and I really admire you though. You do everything that I'm afraid to do.
I think that's something about that is such a cool thing is you are never too old. And it's never too late to try something. And I will tell you, I played hockey. It is not my most favorite thing. Obviously, I don't do it every day like my husband and daughter do. I definitely prefer the swing dancing side of exercising. But I think there's just something so fun in trying new things. And I mean, and you inspire me all the time with the stuff that I'm like, how did you do that? What did singing, writing, putting songs on YouTube? I'm like, I sing in my shower. I sing when I make my breakfast, and that's about the cutoff.
Oh yeah, but other people make their breakfast by pouring a bowl of cereal or making some toast, and you're like scones, fresh baked bread.
Oh, don't forget the Mickey Mouse shaped waffles.
Oh, the Mickey Mouse shaped waffles, yes. Clinton, no, I did not do a cover, but Alfred did.
Yes, but you did one for issue number 2. You and Alfred teamed up and did a cover for that one. We have a secret in the works that Kara and I are working on a collaborative for issue number 4 coming out this spring that we'll have a collaboration cover on.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm so excited for that. I'm already you're going to get a sneak peek into the character class, I don't want to call it superhero costumes because my characters aren't superheroes. They are fantasy, fantasy characters that have powers, but not superheroes. But they're coming out with their iconic costumes that people are going to know them by in this issue and the next issue. And so that'll be really fun to come together and kind of have a cover with that.
Yeah. So sometimes I read your stuff and I'm like, I don't know what any of these words mean. I know what a man is, but I don't know what a fae is. And what's the other one you have?
Ooh, a meowl. So that's the one people are super excited about.
Oh,
so
yes, it's so cute. It's so cute.
Yes. So my meow character, which I don't know if it'll show up on the camera here. Oh, it's too shiny. This is one of my pins.
Oh, wrong one. How do I make it be you?
That's it. I don't know. Buttons. Press the right button. I don't know. Right, it's okay. People can see it if they look on the kicks. There we go. It's still kind of. Come on, go into focus. Silly camera. So the meowl is a creature in my comic book that is a combination of a cat and an owl. So the play on words, meowl. Is the creature. And so she's actually a character that can change from a human, a shapeshifter. So she can change from a humanoid form to her meow form. And she's introduced in issue number 2, and you don't get to see her in her meow form into issue number 3, which is really exciting to be able to bring this character to life. The other shapeshifter character I have is the wolf, of course, which you meet in issue 1. But I'm super excited. So the Meow is a fantasy character that I kind of created up in my head. I love owls. I've loved owls forever. And I think people like have this real love of cats. They really appear in fantasy. They appear historically. They make such a significance. And this is one of my key players. And so combining them together just really helped me create this character that people can fall in love with, the character, the creature together, both in one. And so that's where the birth of this character came from. I also have fae, which are very similar to like elves or fairies. And so in this fantasy realm, the main character is a half wolf shapeshifter and a half fae. And so she doesn't know, she grew up knowing that she was, or thinking she was human. She was raised by humans and basically raised that she was normal until all of these things started happening to her. But she was raised with stories of far off places and fairy tales and, you know, evil princes and all these things, which were really her history. And she doesn't really find that out until she gets older and all these things start happening.
So just because I have you here, we're going to do this, and I want to show this so people can see what we're talking about.
No worries.
Okay, so this is the pins, and you have the moon too, right?
Yes. So this is the yes, douchebag princes. This is correct, Bobby. The moon is our logo. So if anybody's seen it, the moon with a wolf is actually our full logo for Wolf and I. And so we have a lot of things that have the moon logo with it, including our whiskey glass, which we'll get to talk about later this stream, which I'm so excited for. I know you're excited for, and it'll be unlocked at 75 backers, which we are so close. I'm so excited. But yeah, so the moon logo is basically was a combination of our one of the two main characters. And so Violet, who's the half wolf shapeshifter, half fae, comes from the background of Krayweth. She is, but she doesn't know that she does until she gets into issue 3, and that's where they're getting transported through a magical portal, and they land in this world where they end up meeting these friends, and they have to accept their destiny to help Krayweth because the evil prince, who is her father, he's actually a king now, but at the time he was a prince when he kidnapped her mother, is trying to take over the land, and he wants to woo her to his side so that he can use her powers that are manifesting to help him overtake the land and rule over the creatures. And so she has to decide if she's going to join her father or if she's going to fight against him.
They always do that though, don't they? Like, get your own powers. Jeez.
Right?
So this is something that I thought was really cool though. Like, I hadn't seen anyone do this, but you did these, like, you made like one gold cover of all of these, and then like you can only buy one.
Yes. So I wanted to do something fun. I mean, obviously I'm publishing the comic. It's physical form only. I don't have a digital form of it. There's something about holding a physical copy of a comic in your hand that is so
like what
rewarding.
Stanley said about boobs.
Mm-hmm. This is true. And so, but I wanted something for the collectors. Like, I am a huge collector. I love collecting, you know, things like pins and cups and t-shirts and stuff, but I know
she's not even lying. Like, I've been to her house. Like, yeah,
it's a problem.
So much cool stuff. Every time we go there, it's like a museum.
Yes. So I thought this would be such a cool idea. I have so many amazing artists that I was able, you know, to bring on this time to do variant covers. And I love that. I love to see my story and characters in another artist style. And so I tried to bring on artists that were new and well-known who had different varying styles. And so to kind of honor them and their artwork, I decided to put out a one-of-one limited gold foil collector's edition of their cover. And then I have my cover, which is a numbered 1 through 10 limited gold foil, as well as a as a tier that people can choose. But I'm kind of sad to part with them, because after I put them up, I'm like, wow, these look so cool. I want to keep them all and just like put
My
them all
precious
over my wall.
baby.
So we only have 3 left. Wendy's cover, April's cover, and then Dutch's cover. The other ones have gone so fast. They just went up on Friday, and so they've only been available for a couple of days now.
And now they're not.
Yes.
So this is your cover.
Yes, that's my cover.
And then we got,
and all of the variants. So my cover is available on like normal, and then it's also available on holofoil. But all of the variants, again, I just really appreciate artists, and I wanted to put their cover in a way that really stands out. So all of my variant covers are on holofoil.
oh, that's so cool. That's nice. Your holofoils are so beautiful too. And
Oh,
I just golden April's, and April I've known for so many years now, and she has just blossomed.
She really has. Oh, and her artwork has just come so far, and that one's gonna pop so big because that dark blue on her background is gonna mute out the holofoil so that the rest of it just really pops forward.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be so incredible. And then Steph Wilson and Carrie Ann, like they have their own collectors. Like there are people that are just like Steph Wilson fans.
Yeah, and he's got such a unique, style. It's not your typical everyday. And when you see a piece from him, you're immediately like, that is Steph Wilson. Yeah. Like, there's no doubt about it. And I debated a long time whether to bring him on or not. Not because I love Steph and I love Carrie. They're amazing people, but I just wasn't sure if his style would fit the book. And so I approached Steph and I was like, I have a challenge for you. I have a teen rated book. I do not mind having a more mature cover on it, but I really want to challenge you. I want you to do this cover. Here's the characters. This is kind of what's going on in this story. I'm like, and I want a background. I don't want it just to be blank.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen work from Steph where the boobs were smaller than the girls' heads.
Right?
No, but it's still his style. Like,
but it's so his style. Oh yeah,
when you see it. Mm-hmm. So, and then Trevor.
Gosh, Trevor's cover is just, it gives me such Scooby-Doo vibes. It gives you that the Scooby-Doo vibes. It also gives you the like, is the wolf a bad guy? Is it a good guy? Is it like Red Riding Hood, wolf in disguise type of vibes?
Mm-hmm. And then Wendy.
Always great. And her style's so unique too.
Yeah, she does that 3D rendering. Mm-hmm. And then to have the wolf in the background, I really
just really pop.
And then Alfred Trujillo.
Like Jello shots, but like Jello. Jello, not Jello.
That's his name now.
Yes, that's your new name, Alfred.
Jello shots. Yeah.
Yes. I love the detail that Alfred put in that skirt. It gives me so much homage vibes to the second issue where I have her in her like ballet outfit in front of the lake. Mm-hmm. And just with that big white skirt that just flares out. True Jello. Yes, Alfred, true Jello. But what flavor? Like, is it cherry? Is it lemon lime?
Oh, it's taco.
We're tequila flavored. Oh, coffee flavored. Got it. I mean, that makes sense. Flavored. Taco. I don't know about that one.
And Dutch. You notice it takes the in off of his name. It's Dutch.
Yes, Dutchen. Dutch.
Yeah.
I was so excited to have Dutch. So Dutch actually surprised me with this cover. He is the flatter. He's the flatter for issue 2 and the flatter for issue 3, and then consecutive books have signed him on for like the next 6. So good luck there, Dutch. You don't know what you've gotten yourself signed up for.
Shelby.
And Shelby.
That's a Spider-Man homage, isn't it?
This is a Spider-Man 1 homage. And this is the first appearance on the cover of the wolf in his humanoid form. So this is like...
Oh, he's a hot guy. Well, no wonder she's going to end up falling for the wall. Like, I know I'm supposed to be a good person, but...
So this is where my like enemies to lover comes into the story.
That's messed up because it's true.
It's so true. But the villains, you have to know their backstory too, and people can change. Yes, you guys have Dutch on a couple. He just does such great work.
He does. And, we're gonna. you know, we're going to hit him about some stuff. But Shelby, did you see, it's his birthday.
It is his birthday.
So the picture he posted, I'm like, why do you look like a serial killer, bro?
Oh, the wolf is not a fox. The nine-tailed fox in Dutch's cover, because he does all my flats, he knows all the secrets to issue 3. So there is a character that's being introduced in issue 3 that nobody's met yet. And so that's actually one of the characters. So in order to find out who they are, what they are, if they're good, if they're bad, you have to read issue 3.
So the nine-tailed fox thing, like, if you think about it, like a real person, you know, anatomically speaking, let's get a little scientific here. You would have to have like the strongest legs and ass like ever to be able to hold up those tails.
Oh,
even if they had their own, you know,
like
bone and muscle
bone structure.
Yeah, like any animal.
I kind of think of them as like bird feathers, how bird feathers are hollowed out so they're lighter on the inside.
Okay.
I feel like the tails are going to be mostly light bone structure with a little light tissue and sinew, and then just fur. So not a lot of fat density. It's mostly that muscle and bone for the flexibility, and then the puffy fur, which isn't going to weigh a lot if it's on the thinner end.
Well, yeah, more like a peacock kind of a situation.
Yes.
Because for balance, you'd have the 4 and 4 and then the 1 in the middle. You know, you'd have to balance it out, but that's just getting weird about
now
it.
We're getting real complicated. This is fantasy. There is stuff that happens that can't happen in real life.
Right. Okay, all that glitters is gold bundle on metallic. Okay, so this is a group.
Yes.
Then there's only 10
so that's my cover, but there's 10 of 10, but it's numbered. So there's a few more than the limited one of the variants, but it will not print more than 10, and they are covered. Oh, thank you, Clinton. Yes, that puts us one closer to our once we get 75 backers, we'll be releasing the whiskey glass as an add-on. I'm so excited.
The whiskey glasses. The whiskey glasses.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
We're getting there. She got some packages where you can get like all the different ones. The t-shirts. Yes. So we're gonna keep going so that you can see metal prints.
And those are available as add-ons as well.
Yeah, I got to get some. I don't remember what book the metal person has, Wendy. Okay, so stretch goals.
So we've already hit the Meowl. We've already hit a bookmark. We just hit earlier this morning the collector's card. Yes,
it's an add-on.
It is an add-on.
The locked. Okay,
Yep, I just unlocked that one, so I have to make an edit. So our next one's at 4,500, and it's going to be a Steph Wilson exclusive sticker.
That's going to be cool. Okay, but this.
Yes. Oh.
Okay, normally I see whiskey glasses and they're like little like square round tumblers, but this.
Yes. So this is like a full-on, so it's called a Glencairn glass. It's a very special glass made for drinking liqueurs in. It's not square. It's got a very specific shape to it that's heavier bottomed, so it won't tip, but it's made to aerate the whiskey or scotch or whatever your drink of choice is, whether it's tequila or if you like straight vodka. Like, I'm not a judging here, but if you're a scotch person, we can talk. And so this is like a special collector's item. It is etched. The glass is etched, so it's not going to wash off in the, when you put it, if you put it in the dishwasher, it's not going to wash off if you wash it by hand. Like the glass, like it's in the glass. It's not going anywhere. And if you don't drink alcohol, you can drink your drink of choice in here. It makes an excellent water glass. You just might need to drink like 20 of them a day to meet your water goal.
That's good. Definitely need that glass for when I drink my vodka.
Yes.
But it's so pretty. And okay, so what did you do this at? It was like X amount of backers, right?
75 backers, yeah. So once we hit 75 backers, which I believe we're at 71. Nope, we're at 73. So we're only 2 backers away from unlocking it, actually. Holy cow. So yeah, we are right there. 2 backers away, and then that'll be added as an add-on. So if anybody wants to add it who's already pledged, they can change their pledge, select what tier they want if it's the same tier, and then it shows the add-ons, and then they can add more add-ons on.
So I had that problem that I didn't know, and someone was saying that they had, they're like, oh, I can't adjust my tier. You have to like reselect your.
Pretty much.
You have to basically like delete it and restart and do it again.
Yeah, so you don't lose your tier. So what you do is you like manage pledge, and then you say like select tier, and it lets you it says like this is the tier that you have. Do you want to select it or choose a different one? And you can say keep that tier, and then it goes to the add-on page, and that's when you can go and remove or add any add-ons you want. And so we have a couple add-ons. I have 3 different pins. I've got a couple leftover wolf pins from issue number 1. I've got, of course, the Meowl and the Moon pins. There's Wolf and I t-shirts. There's all the variant covers. So if you want to get 2 different covers, like if you want my cover, which ones? Oh, yes.
That one's, I like that.
And so that is going to be on the add-ons too. So there's black, heather gray, navy blue, and maroon options in extra small all the way up to quadruple XL, and it will have the Wolf and I logo in gold on it. But I'm excited. I think they look so great. I don't have the black one in front of me. I feel like the black and the darker colors looked really good, but the gray looked really good too. It just shimmers and shines and just really pops. And it's one of those logos that whether you know what Wolf and I is or not, or just like wolves, it's such like a unique piece that people won't be like, oh, what is that? They'll be like, cool wolf shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the moon really, really makes it like super pop to have the moon in there. So you're at 73 backers right now. You got 13 days to go.
Yep. I'm so excited. I can't believe we're already like, this has blown my mind. I'm so excited for how much this has just really grown even in the last 2 years. And it's really thanks to so much support and just seeing the story come to life and getting people get excited about it.
Right. And well, and that's really cool. You have some sequentials in there as well. So this book is like, you're pretty much done, right?
Yeah, it's ready to go. It's all put together. The only thing I have to do is just put the final PDF and send it to the printer and go. With that being said, though, I have heard too many nightmare stories about comics getting lost before Christmas, and that's the last thing that I want to happen. So I will be shipping. Yay! Oh, I'm so excited. We're going to hit 75 tonight, and I'm just going to like celebrate. This whiskey glass is getting filled up and drunken in excitement if I hit 75 tonight. But yes, cool. I'm shipping in January because I don't want the Christmas imps to make any of my packages damaged or lost or delayed. And so just for the safety of everything arriving in one piece, we will be shipping in January. But I do have an add-on for anybody who's wanting to give it as a Christmas gift, or even if they want a Christmas card. I'm doing a Christmas card. It's $1 as an add-on and then $1 to ship it. And it's basically going to get shipped as soon as the Kickstarter ends in January and the money rolls through. That way they'll hopefully be arriving before Christmas. So one side will be a Wolf and I Christmas card, and then the other side will be like, the adventure is coming your way, January 2022. Be on the lookout for this, great adventure fantasy comic. So I'm super excited about that. Yes, Christmas trolls, call the Ghostbusters.
Right?
Who are you going to call?
Yes. Yeah, no, that's super, super cool. And like, she's so cute and like all passionate about it.
You know what? You got to have passion in what you do. Because if you don't have passion, like, where's the excitement in doing something that you're not excited to work on? And that's what I see. Like, when I see you working on your project, when I see you working on your cosplays, and when you're working on Fire Bitch, like, you just get so excited for it. And that, like, makes me excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for, like, all these creators when they're, we have a ton of friends, and I see their comics go up and I see them grow as an artist. I can help them bring them on my project to grow as an artist and cross promote with each other. And it just makes me so happy to see that success because we all rise together.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We do all rise together. And sometimes you see people and they're very like snippy and very, how do I say this? Like, they're just very competitive.
Unprofessional and competitive.
Yeah. For like really weird reasons.
Yeah. I get that. And, they don't have to be. Like, there's a huge market out there, and not everybody's going to want a teen-rated fantasy comic book, and not everybody wants a superhero book, but I may have people that want to back your book, and you may have people that are interested in fantasy, and getting to work together and see our projects grow, that just makes me so happy. And knowing that there's a huge community out there and we're supportive and we want each other to be successful.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's weird because it's not like you can't read more than one book. How many books did you say you read again this year?
71 and counting. I still have a month and 9 days left to read more books. 8 days.
Yeah, how many more books?
We'll see. Ask me on the 31st. My goal was 50, so I have blown it out of the water.
Yeah, you've completely blown it out of the water. So that's pretty awesome. Anthony says cross promotion is how both communities grow. People that hate on that make no sense and need to get bent.
Yes.
Bent, that's cool. You want to get bent, then that's, yeah. Don't need to love both, just be respectful. Yeah, you don't have to be so, so nasty and harsh to each other. Okay, I'm gonna put this back up.
We hit 75. Oh my goodness. So that makes me so happy. Now I gotta put this whiskey glass up now. It's a legit thing. Hold on to your seats, folks. There will be a whiskey glass added in 3 seconds.
Right?
I mean, maybe more than 3 seconds because Kickstarter is kind of slow. We're playing that da 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 da. All right. Let's see here. New add-on. Wolf and I logo whiskey.
People have been waiting on that too. When do I get?
I know. I have people that are literally when is it available? Tell me.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I'm so excited. It's
right.
If you ask me what my most favorite thing in this Kickstarter is that I've done, besides my book, because you have to be proud of your book, the whiskey glass by hands down is my favorite thing that I've put together so far for any of the 3 Kickstarters I've put together. It's just, I wanted something unique. I wanted something that could be useful, that people could, see on a daily basis and be reminded about it, but not just be something that's stuck on their shelf.
Oh, yeah. I would use that every day. That would be something I would keep with me.
Yes.
So is it 3 issues at once? Sorry if it was said or not.
No. So this is issue 3. However, I have copies of issue 1 and 2 that you can either get all together there's a non-metallic and then a metallic that has all 3, or if there's a variant cover that you want Alfred's cover or Steph's cover, you can get issue number 3 and then add 1 and 2 on as an add-on.
Now, remember your first one was actually a little make 100 and
it was, yeah, the very first one I put out because I wasn't sure, I was a very I was known in the comic world as an artist, but I wasn't known as a published comic person. And so I wasn't sure how well it would do. So I did Kickstarter's Make 100, where I was I'm going to make 100 copies. I had a Kickstarter Make 100 cover. And that's why all of the further issues that I've released have a new cover, because it wasn't part of that Make 100. We sold through all 100 copies, which was amazing. And so now we're just growing, and I'm loving to see this community grow, people to get excited, the story to continue on. My hope is that not my hope, but my knowledge, this is my plan, is that once I have 4 or 5 issues put together, I'm going to be releasing a trade paperback that anybody who just wants to get it all in one book to read it will be able to pick up the trade paperback. And so that'll probably be sometime either late next year or early in 2023, depending on when the next issues get to come out.
So when are you looking at the next one?
So projecting, hoping, depending on yes, it's a stormtrooper. Oh no, run for your life. He's doing the arms up in the air. We had him in the gangster pose earlier. I say Jim comes over and I come home and I'm really, the stormtroopers moved again? What do you guys do all day?
Elf on a shelf.
Pretty much. This is my life-size Elf on a shelf. I'm just gonna.
You put on the toilet. Stormtrooper on the pooper.
Yes. Okay. That's gonna be my next promotional picture. I'm gonna have the stormtrooper on the pooper holding Wolf and I comic, saying, you know, if the Stormtrooper reads it, you should read it too.
That's so awesome. I can't wait. That's so exciting.
Okay, it's happening. It's happening before the end of this campaign.
Yeah, you know I always come up with the bad ideas and people are like, oh, sorry.
But they work. It doesn't matter how bad they are. What matters is that it works. But you know, and that's what it is. So I'm excited. All right, let's see
I'm
here.
a terrible
I got
person.
distracted. I'm distracted. I'm trying to put this whiskey glass up.
So you
Let's
let her
see.
put that whiskey glass up.
So what
I'ma
are
tell
you guys what are you working on recently? What's your new thing?
Well, currently the 52 card pinup is being shipped out. I do still have it
Okay.
available, and that's the card deck.
Okay.
And then after that, I started working on the calendar because I wanted to be able to get the calendar so it can ship out. And we're hoping to be able to ship after Thanksgiving, like that week, so that we can make sure everyone gets theirs. But we did some really cute stretch goals. And like, for those of you who don't know, Krysta and I talk about stretch goals all the time because like, what kind of
what cool stuff. But we also don't want to put stuff out that's like, oh, that's kind of lame. Like that's just going to get tossed in the trash or in the garbage or in the junk drawer, which now there's 2 junk drawers and then there's 3 junk drawers and you're like, I don't need any more. And that's why we come out with cool things that are useful that people like.
Well, and just stuff that's different and fun. So Fire Bitch 2 came out. Yeah, Fire Bitch has been out for quite a while. It's on Indiegogo right now. Message me and I can get you in on that. But so like one of the things that I did is I thought about doing like a what is that? Like an ID card. And this is a Baywatch. Yeah. This is a Baywatch ID card. Like we're both having the same problem, but it's like a lifeguard certification. But the ID number is 800085183.
Ooh,
because it's boobs.
That makes sense. I was like, wait, that sounds familiar. Why is that not like? And I was like, oh,
but see, then the back is the Jill Valentine stars.
Oh,
IDs.
yes.
So just like fun little things like that. Oh, I did this coaster. It's a neoprene coaster. So that's
I like that. And everybody you could use your neoprene coaster with your Glencairn whiskey glass.
We could. Okay.
Look at that.
These two. It's a tiny card on the back because I put a spell on you, which you can't see.
Look how cute that is.
It's got all the blah 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 thank yous and stuff. And but yeah, I just did stuff like that. The door hanger with, so you can kind of get the idea. And if you can't, then you don't need it anyway. You don't need the idea. But I think I was showing you this earlier, the ornament.
Oh, yes. Those would be such a good thing. Like, and you always can use more ornaments. And then 20 years from now, people will be like, remember when I got this?
Right? There are people that are like, yeah, it's still in my wallet. Like my very first business card that was like the printout kind with the perforated edge.
Yes.
Like, look what I still have. And I'm like, oh, I should never have done that. Because like back then it was like, why is my phone number on there? Thank you, Anthony, for putting that up there.
Oh, sweet. So yes.
I'm going to put Krysta's up there again. If I do it too much, I'll get like popped for spamming.
How dare you spam? When you're posting things we're talking about, it is not spam. It is legitimate.
On the business page, there is no ham in your Kickstarter.
There's no ham in my Kickstarter. There's no spam. There's no spam. Sorry. There's like no food. There's a whiskey glass you can put whiskey in. I wouldn't suggest putting spam in it though. It might be a little hard to like drink that spam.
Right. No,
right. The whiskey glass is officially added as an add-on and it's added as a tier if people only want to get the whiskey glass.
Yay!
So I'm so excited.
I know, right? That's like super cool.
You know, I honestly didn't think I'd ever get to this part. When I first put out issue 1, you know, I was blown away by what we made. And issue 2, we broke 2,000 and we broke 50 backers. And I was like, this is amazing. I'm so excited. And so issue 3, I was like, I just hope that we break our goals that we had for issue 2. And I hope for issue 3, we hit 3,000. And you guys have just I'm just blown away by the support and by people that are so excited about the story and the world and everything growing in it.
And if you're not, there's pretty pictures.
There are many collectible covers by artists that people love. Like they make good, you know, wall decorations for sure.
They do. But then also you're helping to support a doctor pay her student loans because being a doctor is
This
very
is the
expensive.
true.
Just
Student
remember,
loans are
she might
expensive.
save
I'm
your child's life one day.
saving or paying off my student loans one comic book at a time.
Oh, that's so cute. We gotta talk. You gotta do like one of these with like,
Yes.
you know, shipping. That'd be so cute. Paying off the student loans one comic book at a time.
I mean, it's true.
It is though. So that's hilarious. So your next one is coming out.
Oh, sorry, I got sidetracked by the whiskey glasses, which are live and ready. So this one's gonna be shipping in January, and the goal is like March, April for issue number 4. It's tentative based on just holidays and work schedule, and kind of the story's all written. It's just, you know, with it being a single person doing all the art and all the colors and stuff, I do want to have it print ready before I launch the campaign. Just, you know, working, you know, having learned from past mistakes, like I want things ready to ship out. That way people aren't waiting for their books for months and months for the book to be finished. And so my goal is then, but if it has to be delayed before we launch, it'll definitely be something that'll be communicated.
Now, you brought up shipping though, and you know, one of the things that is very taboo in this industry is you ship in Gemini mailers, and
I do
not ship media mail. That it's so funny because every once in a while I'll see a newer creator and they'll post online about that. They opened my mail, and I'm like looking, I'm like, you sent that media mail. They're allowed to what? You're allowed to open it, but isn't it media? And there's this, and then they get
doesn't
really
matter.
They get, but comic books are media, but comic books are a book, and it's like. It specifically says now, it used to have like stipulations, but do you remember opening up your book, fishing through it, looking for ads, and then sending, like, especially if it's a collector's item? So yeah, you don't want that. And they'll get like mad and like real belligerent about it. It's like, look, getting mad at me isn't going to make the mailman less likely to dig through your shit and charge your customer. Because that's another thing they do. They will charge your customer for the rest of the shipping. It's going to take 3 times as long, and they're going to treat it like crap, and they can open it.
Yes.
So,
well, and not only that, but you know, there's no tracking on media mail. There's no insurance on media mail. And so all of my basic comics get sent Gemini, and they're sent USPS first class with tracking. And then any of my like higher end tiers get sent with insurance on them too. And so anybody backing at the higher level knows that, you know, if something happens to it, if things get broken and damaged, that they will be being sent in a, you know, with insurance, so that, especially with my cups, like those, that's why the shipping on them's higher, because I do want them shipped in a way that if anything were to happen, if they were to get cracked, dropped, stepped on, anything like that, they'll be insured so that I can send that person another copy of it.
Just please don't throw away your packaging. Keep your packaging, take plenty of photos from every single angle, and because we've had issues with that too. Oh, I threw my package. Well, then how do I prove that it was
damaged? Yeah, that is a big thing with it, is you want to make sure that you have all of that together. But I'm excited. Like I love that. I love the, you know, the feeling of getting to physically open, you know, the package in the mail and getting the swag in the mail. There's just something about getting mail that's not bills that's just makes you feel good. It's true. It's true.
On auto ship.
Right. I wish. And that's, you know, and then I really love Gemini mailers. And that's something, you know, that before I shipped issue 1, like I consulted you and Alfred, I consulted a bunch of other creators, and I'm like, look, I'm not just putting out a nimbly wimbly comic. Like, how can I ship these in a way that I would want my comics received? Like, I want my comics received in the best if I'm buying them and backing a Kickstarter, like I want them to be received in a manner that it's going to be good enough that I could send it off to be graded and slabbed if I wanted to. And I want to get not just 6s, 7s, 8s. I want 9.8s and higher on anything that I'm receiving and sending off to be graded. I mean, that's my personal goal personally.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I think that most of us feel that way because that's what we want. We want those collectors, and we want that to ship very well. And I actually really am a big supporter of Gemini. I say it a lot because they are a family business, just like the rest of us.
Yes.
And they created this specific mailer for comic books.
Yeah.
a literature mailer, they're good. They're not the same. Like the way that these are made are specific for what we do. And
Yes.
so
and whether it's one comic or 10 comics, it holds it in a way that even if the box gets bumped, the corners get dented, it's in there in the middle. And especially
there's
sending
a gap before the end of the box. So like the end of the box is here, but your comic doesn't come in until like a half an inch, like an inch in.
Which really helps it. And then shipping them in bags and boards. Like I bag and board all my comics because it just makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And then it's something that people can keep them in. They don't get scratched, So I think and it says a lot about yourself too. Like, are you respectful of your book? Do you feel like your book is worth putting in that extra time to ship it well?
Oh yeah, I've been packaging so much crap lately, like not crap, but like just so much stuff.
Yeah.
And I actually finally got to the point where I had to have boxes custom made.
Yeah. And that's the hard thing with bigger items. And, that's why I haven't offered 11 by 17s yet, which I know you ship a lot of, but it's so hard to ship just one because you don't want to tube it. You don't want it curled up.
Well, and that's where now if you wanted to do that, we can just share boxes.
Yeah.
Because we're right down the street from
Best friends.
I did that. Like I had like, okay, one print and then like a comic, but then what I'll do is like I'll bag the print and then I'll put it in bubble wrap and then I'll bag the comic and put that in more bubble wrap and then tape the comic to the bubble wrapped comic to the bubble wrapped print and slide it in and then I'll tape it to the box so that there's no, and they're 3-inch boxes. So they're a little thicker than I would have liked. But there's plenty of space that if it gets crushed or whatever, you're not damaging.
You've got room. Yeah. And then you can put extra stuff in there if someone's ordering, multiple things. And I think, and people who buy stuff and get their stuff shipped in good quality like that are more likely to come back and support that person. If they got it and it's damaged and you're not able to do something about it and the post office isn't able to do something about it, then you feel like, well, should I order anything else?
Yeah. I can't guarantee. Well, and now I'm using a lot of UPS as well.
So Dutch is in the house.
What up?
And Dutch has a comic going on right now. He only has 3 days left on his Wayfair comic that's up on Kickstarter.
Oh, well, tell him to send over that link.
I can grab it right now.
Yeah, grab that. We'll put that
way
up.
You have it. We'll talk about that a little. I'm excited. I am actually working on a cover for him for when he launches his second issue of it on Kickstarter. And so I'm super excited to work on that for him and be part of his project as he's been part of mine. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be great.
Finally, someone who says,
oh my goodness.
Oh geez.
Oh,
we're real bad. So
all right, I threw that up in the private chat for you.
Yeah, I'm putting it right there. So this is Dutch's campaign. And I want to see how his is doing. I'm over here with like my
great
computers.
He just hit 30 backers today. He's got 69 hours to go. 69 hours.
Right?
And he's only $60 away from hitting $1,000, which is so exciting. So we are so close to getting him to 4 digits. I think it's only going to take 2 or 3 more backers and we can get him there. And this is his first Kickstarter, and it's just so exciting to be a part of helping him grow and seeing this come out. And he's got such a unique idea with his character and his worlds. 69 dude.
Right? Well, and I think it's really cool when we all get together and, maybe we should do that. Like have one of these where we just get together and talk, not necessarily about our projects, but about the industry and about like all the technicalities. Like I get super excited when it comes down to editing. We're talking about editing.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why everybody.
No, and I think that's really fun. I was on a show Saturday, I think it was, with Chuck, and it was so fun because there were 9 of us. Well, there was like circulating, and some of us had Kickstarters, some of us had other projects, but we were all in the industry, and we got to talk a lot about like how we got into the industry, how we came up with our stories, different things that, helped us get into like why we wrote comics, who helped us, who was inspiring for us, what troubles we ran into, what things we would have to say to other creators who were learning to get into the process. And so that was just so unique. And then, of course, we talked about our projects and our Kickstarters and what we had going on too. But a lot of it was just kind of talking back and forth on, how we came to where we are, what led us to being artists and creators. Had we always been it? Did we come into it? Were we always comic book lovers, or did we come into comics as an adult? And so that was really kind of cool to have that huge group. It was almost like a Brady Bunch format. I mean, we had 9 people in there and it was a blast. I think that'd be really cool. And especially with everybody that you and I know, it would be such a cool conversation to have and bring on.
We should figure that out and do that. That would be a lot of fun. I enjoy doing these like, little shows here and there with just some special times, and we should totally do that. Like pick some subjects. So hey, if
it'd be totally rad.
It would. We can do an after dark one with adult creators as well. I mean, I guess we can do adult, but they do live and exist in the daytime, right?
This is true. Not everybody's a night walker. Some of them are day walkers.
Right? Where the moonlight like kills them. I'm going through this thing right now. I'm terrified to leave my room after dark. It's like, oh, it's 4 o'clock. It's time to go to bed. And then I'm awake at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like,
yes. I've been living that life where I'm like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. I'm like, I'm tired. What is this adulthood? Like, when did this happen?
Morning now.
I know. I went from working all night to now having to like be up when the sun's up. I'm like, what is this? My night shifter skin and eyes can't. I'm like, let me be up all night playing D&D and Final Fantasy and
right. Daywalkers, are you Blade? Yes. So I wanted to say this since, it's so weird. Krista and I we live like down the street from each other.
Literally.
I remember I went to your house one time.
I was like, should we just live stream like in the same room?
We've done that before.
We've done that before.
Well, I want to get things organized out in here. And you could like join me because I've done your studio. You come over and do mine, but I wanted to show you this. Look at this. Look
how cute it is.
And you can put a cell phone in here, but not mine with the case because the case has the
that's
stylus.
too bigger. Yeah.
But you can put a phone in there, and then you can like turn on, your YouTube or whatever. But it's like
that's so funny.
And it's like a little TV.
Oh, that is super cute. And a Kleenex box. I love that. That is so cute.
But people are online. First of all, this thing's $12. Who gives a crap? They're like, the legs won't stay on. Just glue them in there.
Glue them
I didn't have to glue anything on. But the Kleenex box won't fit inside here. Neither one, the square one or the wide one. But if you take the Kleenex out of the box, just open it up, joint the whole thing, and drop it in, it fits. I don't need the box because this is my box. But I want to
that's really cute.
Have my stuff.
I love little nichey things like that. The problem is like the space for it. And so, but yes, Dutch, too bad you live in the East Valley. Oh, West Side for life.
I was actually talking to someone about that. Who was I talking to? I was talking to Niall about that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, really? So wait, you guys all, I was like, yeah, you got your East Siders and your West Siders. So what about this person? Oh, that's an East Sider. What about this one? West Sider. What about that guy? Actually, this one guy is right in the middle. Right? But the rest of us are all like East Side, West Side, and me and Krysta and our West Siders. And Travis is,
and Trevor's also Trevor's on the West Side,
and Shannon and Jim,
yes,
we're all West Siders, and then everyone else is over there
on that side, the weird side. I don't know about them. They're a little on the weird side.
They are. So I'm going to tell you guys all this. They have what I call East Side syndrome.
It's true. It's so true.
And they act like they're better than us. Like, that's the thing. Seriously, they act like they're better than us. Like, I live on the East Side. They're always like that. I live on the East Side.
Like, I'm over here with my like fancy clothes and my fancy hair, my fancy bag.
Right. I only go to the West Side if I'm going to a football game. Like, they have IKEA, so they think that they're better than us. We were supposed to have IKEA. We were supposed to have an IKEA, and they put in a Topgolf instead.
I know. But we're supposed to get a water park, though. Did you hear about that?
I did, and I watched the city council meeting, about that, and they were like, well, we just want everyone to conserve water.
But then you're building a water park.
And everyone's saying that, and they're like, well, they're a commercial business like everyone else and have to pay their bills just like everyone else. Then why are you raising my rates? You know? And then one lady was like, because then they're like, well, you should, you can get a reverse osmosis system and, filter your water. And some woman was like, okay, so you just told us to filter our water. Why don't you save money by not fluorinating our water? Because the RO system is going to pull the fluoride out that you just told us to do. Don't put that shit in our water. So
you win some, you lose some, right?
Right. I'm always like terrorizing the city council. Why is there a fire around the corner of my house?
I just love hearing all your stories. It cracks me up. I'm like, this is how I catch up on everything, because I am like, work, hockey, hospital, clinic, hockey, stormtrooper, this, that. I'm like, okay, Kara, what did I miss?
Right? I'll be like texting, and then I'll be like, you know what? Okay, so this is what's going on.
I'm like, what's the 411? What did I miss? What do I need to know? What's coming up and what's new?
Right? We just, yeah. And we're like, I'll be like, oh, wait, when is trash day? Like, we just had this huge conversation about trash day, because we had trash day, but they picked up my trash last week. And I was like, but then they picked her trash up this week.
Which we're in the same trash area, so that was very strange. Well, who knows?
And the people down the street, their trash didn't get picked up last week when mine did. So, okay, so one more time, give us really quick before we go. Tell everyone why they should go and get your whiskey glass.
You're like, don't even talk about your comic, just talk about the whiskey glass.
Well, they need something to read while they're drinking out of the whiskey glass.
Yeah. I mean, reading the comic's going to be a lot more enjoyable out of the whiskey glass, but definitely get it. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind thing. It is, handmade. You won't be able to get this anywhere else except for through the Kickstarter and then potentially through Etsy. We'll see how well it goes. But you won't be able to get Wolf and I at your Amazon. You won't be able to get it through the store. So definitely back to Kickstarter. That way you don't miss out on this awesome thing while your friends are drinking their scotch and whiskey out of their fancy glasses, and you'll be left with your red plastic Solo cup. But my 30-second spiel about this comic is this is kind of like the background to get you in. If this doesn't get you into the comic, I don't know what will. But in a land slowly overtaken by darkness, eyes peer into every nightmare. Tread carefully, take heed, and beware. For creatures crawl throughout the night. Secrets of history shall come to light. Internal powers before unknown, choices are made, worlds are shown. Two herons are faced with a choice to band with friends and unite their voice. Against this evil they must stand. The fate of Krayweth lays in their hands. So that is Wolf and I. This is issue 3. You can definitely get issue 1 and 2 with the comic if you're interested in reading the story, or you can just get yourself a collectible whiskey glass with a variant 3 cover. Thanks for having me on, Kara. This has been a blast. And as far as the noise, that
was my dog.
Okay, I was like, I don't think that was my dog. She's old and doesn't make a lot of noise.
Yeah, no, my dog was in this room with me, and now she's still here, and she heard a noise out there, and she's like, That was
oh, the summary sounds like a Jumanji rhyme. Well, watch out, because you're all sucked in now. Now you really have to back it. There's no backing out until the game is over.
That's right. Exactly. Okay. So I guess we're going to let y'all go. And where can we find you online?
So you can find me everywhere at Fleur de Villainy this way. It's super easy. It's Fleur de Villainy. Fleur as in flower for French, and then de Villainy as in Dr. de Villainy. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, all the things. And then if you want to follow just the comic, they have their own Instagram page at Wolf and I Comic.
All right. So go do all that. And if you get stuck and you can't find her, just message me and I will help you out.
And then the link for the comic has been in the chat if you scroll up.
Absolutely. And if you need it again, just hit us up. We'll let you know. I don't want to get popped for spam because then I won't be able to come back anymore. So
yes, you want to be able to come back.